Hey everybody, welcome to this week's fishing report. I'm here with Alex. It's been a while since we've done a report together. We have lots to report. A lot of seasons have been changing. A lot of things have been shifting in the fishing world. It's still really hot out there, but the weather's supposed to break. And even with that, and fishing has been really hot. So we're going to start out with rockfish. I know that's what everybody's always, number one interested in. So the bite has turned back on up north. It was really good, and then it kind of slacked off, and now it's really, really good again. So right now they're up by Hodges Bar, that area. It's really kind of like there's a lot of fish in a wide area there. So I certainly wouldn't stick to any one place. I think these fish are moving a lot up there, but if you putt around, you're gonna find them. It's mostly a live lining bite. I'm sure you could chum on them. You can definitely jig on them and whatnot, but it's really been a live lining centric bite. A lot of nice fish too, the 20 to 30 inch. I mean,
there's some good sized fish up there.
Yeah, I think you can cherry pick a little, and you can definitely get some mid to upper 20 inch fish, which I know is what everybody's kind of looking for. What else have you been hearing on the rockfish front?
Rockfish up there, I mean, like Mike was just saying, like, stick on that side channel there, Hodges Bar, but also heard some guys moving to the western side over to the mouth of the Patapsco, right at the 7-foot knoll, inside the Patapsco towards the Key Bridge, mainly for like topwater bites in the morning and evenings. And other than that, like you said, they're pretty much spread out from Swan Point, Hodges, Patapsco, that big old area there. So a couple options to go to on obviously up there, but definitely a lot of fish up there.
And I think we're seeing a kind of a little bit higher quality of fish, and we're seeing a lot more schools of fish. So you're seeing breaking birds every evening, almost no matter where you are. I know one of our employees went out, did well out of Eastern Bay, catching 20 to 25 inch fish on top. There've been a lot of fish at the Bay Bridge too. So I think a lot of it's a numbers game, just how big are they, this and that. But it seems like the quality has started to move up, and it's nice when they spread out too, because then it's not everybody in a pile. You can kind of find fish. So that kind of brings us to our next point, because we're talking about these breaking fish. And so what are all the whispers we started hearing?
Some bluefish, and finally mackerel all the way up here towards Chesapeake, Thomas Point, Bloody Point. So we've definitely seen a lot of bluefish move up to that area of the mouth of Eastern Bay, especially breaking fish. You'll always find small rockfish, bluefish, and now mackerel. I know we were talking about this, and a couple of the guys here and some of my friends have been going out and catching 1 or 2 mackerel, just casting metals to the breaking fish.
Yeah, and I think for us it's kind of like no, we don't think it's like it was in the heat of last year and like the peak of it where you can go out and just pound them out. But the fact that they're starting to come up means in these next few weeks we do hope it starts to really turn on. The bluefish are everywhere. They're not necessarily great size, but I mean they're way north of the bridge, so that you're going to find those scattered everywhere. Bottom fishing breaking fish,
trolling.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're going to see a lot of people starting to pick up on the trolling stuff, because trolling's great. You slow down, the same exact little spoon rigs we're using, you're going to catch striped bass. You speed up, you're catching bluefish, mackerel. So for those of you guys who really like fishing planers and fishing small spoons behind them, hoses and stuff, it's going to be a good time of year to do it, because again, you're going to get these multi-species, or chances at multi-species, which is always great. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. So now let's move on to the sea bass report. I mean, sea bass. That's like me saying my bottom fishing report, because bottom fishing is really good. So the perch have been on fire.
Spot, big spot. I've seen some big
and big perch too. I feel like a lot of really good bottom fishing, and that's going to be around structure like the bridge, but also on hard bottom, so your shell bottom, 10, 15, 20 feet of water. Of course, perch are still in all the creeks. You can do well with your spinners and stuff like that. But like you said, I feel like the spot has actually been kind of surprising. There are a lot of spot out there.
You get a lot of, actual bait size spot, and then you get those actual eating size spots for all the guys that like to keep them out there. And up here, I mean, I've seen a lot of small croaker. Nothing huge like keeper size, but a lot of the small size croaker. Not until you get down towards Solomon's when I've seen some actual decent sized croaker being caught, like not huge like back in the day, but 12, 14 inch croaker. So I mean, that's kind of like our main bay fish right there. So then we have cobia down south, redfish.
What are you hearing?
Redfish, they're pretty much moving up now. Starting to see a few reports of like scatter redfish throughout the middle grounds down towards the target ship, and even all the way up to pretty much Hooper's Island. They're not like schools like where, you know, like last year where you were seeing those massive schools of fish moving up, but a lot of people are actually going out and finding breaking fish, breaking mackerel, breaking bluefish, and they are dropping some little heavier metal jigs, like the little, pretty much like little bunker there, 1 ounce to a 2 ounce just below those breaking fish, and they're picking up some good size redfish, you know, those bull reds, like 40+ inch bull reds down there. I know other than that, I've seen a whole bunch of people actually picking up small puppy drum on the shorelines down towards Point Lookout.
Oh, nice.
You know, Smith Island, Crisfield, a lot of reports of actual, you know, pretty much like 10 to like almost keeper size redfish. Just like a couple years ago when we saw that push of like small puppy drum move up, they're pretty much here. So I've heard them all the way up towards Chesapeake Beach right now for a few guys catching them. So, and
it's almost the same thing on the trout too. That same exact area and type of deal as well. So that's always an option too for the guys who are willing to move south. So then we get into our mainstay of the bay, the snake.
The snakes.
The snakes.
Snakeheads. They're pretty much everywhere. I mean, surprisingly enough, the Magathie is one of those places where in the past few weeks I heard a decent amount of people catching 1 or 2 here and there in all the creeks, anywhere from like Mill Creek, Cypress Creek and all that. And surprisingly, even in some of those ponds off the Severn, I know there's some private lakes off in the Severna Park area, and apparently they're catching them there now too, but they're private, so you really can't go there. But they're in the main water too, on all those creeks there. So
yeah, I think it's pretty much all over the bay. Of course, you know, Blackwater is going to be great and this and that. You know, everything's kind of hitting right now. You can throw top water's working really well.
Paddle tails,
minnows obviously always are a great bet. So
yeah, that's small perch
and small perch.
Yeah.
So what do we have next? So next is crabs. Crabs. So crabbing's actually pretty good, and that's like the best we can ever say about crabbing. It's pretty good. But no, it is really good. It's been really good. You know, hopefully we have at least a few more weeks. I mean, honestly, I hope that the whole end of the season ends up being good. But at least for right now, it's good, and that's going to be anywhere in the bay. So your 5 to 10 feet of water range. Pull traps, hand lining, trot lining, that sort of thing.
I keep hearing a lot of things about the South River apparently. You know how usually most people go to the eastern shore to the Y and everything, but a lot of customers have been coming through saying the South River's been the spot to go to so far.
Nice.
So hopefully,
until we just set it on this, now it's ruined.
But other than that, I mean, I heard some good size crabs out there too.
Nice.
So that's always good.
So anything else we have to touch on for the fishing reports?
Pretty much like for you guys fishing the shoreline, if you do have a pass for Thomas Point Park right south of Annapolis, that's been the hot lure.
Oh, really?
A lot of good sized fish on top water in the evenings with those pretty much, you know, old school pencil poppers. Nice. So that's been the hot thing that's been flying out the shelves from all the guys that, you know, go there. So that's been good, and apparently all the fish are good size too, from 19 to like almost 30 inches.
Nice. It's funny because it's not like top water season yet, but if you get there early, late, you know, you can have a good bite. And just like with these breaking fish we're seeing all over, you know, a lot of people love that sort of fishing, that schoolie fishing. Just throw any top water bait out there, and you're gonna bust them. So yeah, I feel like that's great. All right, well, I think that wraps up today's fishing report. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and we'll check you next week.
Yep, have a good one.